So I'll give you a situation where an e-commerce company is facing some issues in deployment, bugs and other coordination issues between deployment and testing. So let's discuss how CI/CD integration tools will help in this situation.
Now start with the problem statement. When the e-commerce website or deployment process, we are doing the manually. So we have faced lot of the problems. The list of the problem is we are facing manual integration to the pipeline. The list of the problem statement is manual deployment process, then frequent production bugs and the difficult and slow rollback process, then the inconsistent application performance, and the last is renewed loss and poor contribution to team loads. These are the major problem statement of our deployment process in manual. Over to Ashish.
Okay, I will explain what are the tools and the process used here. First of all, you can see what is Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub was the backbone of the project which was used by the developers to deploy. And we have three stages. First of all, first code version and branching and team collaboration. First of all, you can see what is code collaboration. Code collaboration is nothing but we are making the code which was used for front end and back end. We are analyzing it and we are pushing it to the Git or GitHub. And second, the branching. If we make any changes, there is a different type of code. For example, if there is a branching code, we can in branching we can change the branch so it does not affect the main code. And after that, the team collaboration. Team collaboration has different process, but mainly they focus on integration, which is CI and CD, continuous integration and continuous.
Talk about continuous integration. Continuous integration is called as CI. It is a software development practice. Developers frequently integrate their code changes into a shared repository. Each integration is automatically verified through builds and tests, allowing teams to detect errors early and improve software quality instead of waiting until the end of development. The tool used is Jenkins. Jenkins is widely used as an open source automation server that used to implement codes, running tests and deploying applications. Jenkins integrates easily with version control systems like Git.
I will be covering continuous delivery method. The main application of CD is deployment timeline. So after the code is built and tested in CD takes over for automatic releases of that code to production. So the goal of deployment is to make the production fast, safe and reliable with minimal manual effort. So the tools we use for this is Docker and Kubernetes. So the first containerization is Docker. We package all our application with all its own dependency into a lightweight portable Docker container. So after that, because these containers run same everywhere in development, in testing and also in production. So next we use Kubernetes for automation. So Kubernetes takes those containers and handle the deployment process. Kubernetes also maintain the traffic and load. If the user demands by it will add extra containers to handle it. If there is a drop in user, it will reduce the container and it is cost efficient and availability. So the main objective of CD is with Docker and Kubernetes is safe, reliable and fast delivery with minimal manual effort.
So I am here to tell about non-intrusive control and testing. So far we have seen about GitHub and Jenkins, Docker and Kubernetes. So before we will be manually testing each place, and if there is any errors we will be rectifying that. And one by one we will be testing, so it takes more time. But nowadays using these tools and versions, we can easily make any changes, and even also by using branching and many techniques we can go back to the older versions if we want. And using parameters and diagrams, we can make changes if possible. If we need any sudden changes or implementations, and if we don't want to track any changes every time, so it will be automatically done.
So hi everyone. Now we understand about what is CI/CD and pipelines and tools used in CI/CD and DevOps. So first I need to tell about this CI/CD is also a part of DevOps. DevOps is also known as development plus operations. Before, that is about 2005, before times, IT companies they will be they will consist of two teams, that is the development team and operation team. So the development team manages the code writing and testing everything, and the operation team will be getting the code from the development team and hosting that in the server, and they will be testing it. So this is the operations which are done in 2000. But now it is 2026. We have many other tools like Jenkins and Kubernetes and Docker and pipelines. So first I need to tell about what is Docker. So first, like Abhishek Shankar, if Abhishek Shankar is writing a code and he has Windows 10 and some requirements or some packages, but I don't have that packages and requirements in my system. So if he will use he will use Docker and containers their code base, like their requirements and libraries and which Windows version and OS version, they will be containerized and they will give that containers as an image to me, and I just simply Docker pull image. So by using that command, I can able to set up the code base in my laptop, and I can able to run it without relying on any installations externally. And for this Docker is used. So Docker is also in part of DevOps. And when we go about pipelines, so pipelines is not about the software or else any other thing. It's just an term to initiate workflow. Workflow means it's like first we need to find step 1 and then step 2 want to follow and step 3 want to follow. Likewise, this workflow is initiated in development terms. We call it as pipeline. So pipeline is narrow pathway to succeed the CI/CD. So for CI/CD, we use that is continuous integration. For that we use Jenkins as GitHub. In that GitHub actions we will be using. And most of the developers or most of the IT companies use Jenkins, but startup companies and beginner level they will be using GitHub actions. And for continuous deployment, we will be using Docker, Kubernetes for automation, because when the container is loaded with a new code base, we need to tell the server which commit history they want to take. We need to take and deploy it. So for that we use Kubernetes, and for these CD, we will be using many of the cloud services like AWS, GCP, and Azure. We just need to set up a server which has like EC2 or web application server, and then we just need to give the Docker image as a .sh file, that is a Linux file, and then give it to the server, and it will automatically run it every time when the commit is due. For example, we just need to for beginner level, for an example, when a code is pushed, like if I am writing the code and I will use the command git push, it will committed into the GitHub, and then GitHub will be taking this code using OAML file, and then it will be deploying it in the server. So this is about CI/CD pipeline in development phase, but in production phase it will vary. But using many of the tools and many of the productions are there. So when the code base is gone into the production, we will be using more and more tools, and there are a lot of terms. But for learning that, we need to learn DevOps. So this is about CI/CD. When it comes to result for the problem statement, the e-commerce website using Docker and then Kubernetes and then GitHub action, we can able to achieve the continuous integration and deployment easily. Without using this, we can able to achieve it. So this is all.
Why companies facing production issues with
So the companies facing production issues, if they are using in development, but they are not worried about production. So there are two phases, development and production. In development, they will be setting up this code base and things, the project in a local system. But when it comes to an internet or posting into internet, they will get into many of the errors. So see that we need to use DevOps.
So thank you all for your active participation in the discussion. Thank you.
Okay.